have a very, very special guest.
My father asked me if I want to come, and I was like, if we can help one person, I'll do it for Shmeli, which is, we came in for that. We live in Israel, so we came in for that. Didn't have a good relationship with my father at all. Like, it was at a point where I really didn't think he cares for me at all. Like, I don't want him to hear this, but I hated him. Like, really hated him. Again, like every teenager, you don't like your father, but I feel like I was at the top of that list of, I just really didn't like my parents. And it was at a point where, let's just say, it really was at a point where it was once in Bobov, there was a blood drive, and I was just hanging out there, and decided my father went to give blood, and I just turned around to a few of my friends, and I was like, I hope something goes wrong. But I can say now, because, I mean, he's not just my father anymore, he's a role model, and he's my friend, so he really is that way. Like, no, it went from an extreme of hating to where I loved making parties in my house because my father was part of everything. Like, I loved when my friends came over, and all my friends loved my father, and, like, it was at a point where he's part of our crew, he's part of our friends, so it really was that. And I see a lot of my friends growing, you know, even still now, where they talk to my father probably more than they speak to their own parents, and they enjoy coming to my house more than that. And now, you know, now I try calling my father two, 3 times a week in Israel, just to say hi, just to talk. And and I feel like for me it was important. I needed a home, and I never had that until, I guess, my father met you, so thank you. Like, my address, 808 Dale Road, became, from a house, it became a home for me. It really did. It became a place where I felt safe, and I never had that before. And my parents became kind of like the people who made it safe for me, and I mean, pretty much, yeah. It was... I have a friend now that their parents are struggling with a different kid, and he came to my father talking to him, and a little bit I looked back and I said to myself, you know, I'm lucky. I really am lucky to have parents I have. I know they didn't expect this. They didn't expect me to look like I am, and didn't expect me to go through the troubles I did when I was born. I know they didn't have that, and the way they turned around and the way they were willing to accept me no matter who I am and who I was, and just have an open, you know, I walked into Bobov with a suit, without a hat, not the Bobov way of going in, and the first person coming sprinting across the shore was my father. Embarrassing, but very loving. No, but it's a great feeling, you know, knowing that half of Bobov turns around and looks at you, and there's this guy who did a Rosh Chabira in Koil, this whole guy, big guy in Koil, comes running across saying hello to his son, so that's, yeah, part of the embarrassing part. No, but it is a great feeling knowing that no matter what stage in my life I was, and no matter where I was, I had a father and mother that was there for me, so pretty much, thank you. It really did change our life. Like, I don't hate my house anymore. I love my parents. They're friends. Besides parents, they're more, like, just friends. I mean, and as soon as my father met my wife, and he just welcomed everybody except, and made her feel at home more than me, so. That really was. Pretty much.
When did you find out about Avi, and how did you react, and how did your father explain it to you?
It's funny because I don't remember exactly when I found out, but I looked at it for a long time. I looked at it just like I go to 12 steps for me to get to know. I was like, he goes to his thing, to him to understand. It took a little bit talking with my parents, and my father was like, look, I didn't see you like this when you grew up. That's not what I imagined for you, and I just go to help myself to understand. And I was like, whatever floats your boat, you know, whatever, if this makes you. But eventually I came to, I say like you, but love you. Actually, you know, once you came here and understanding that I wasn't doing it to be rebellious. I was just, I guess the word kid. I was just a kid in pain. Really was in pain. And once he's like, you're in pain, I'm gonna change my whole outlook on it. On, you know, you're in pain and you're not just rebellious. Let me try to help the pain and not fight your rebellion.
Does the pain ever go away?
100%. 100%. I mean, I'm very happy today's days. I mean, I still have. Thank you. Pain doesn't always go. It doesn't go away fully. I mean, you're always gonna have that part when you see something or smell something or hear something. It's gonna take you back to that. But when you're in a good place, you can always come out of it. You can always. I did therapy for 3 years with Reggie stuff. I went to Reggie for a long time, so it was definitely help. I mean, it's a world of a difference.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
I think the difference is, like, when you're in pain, what are we gonna do about it? Like, if you don't have a relationship with your parents and you don't feel safe at home, then we're gonna go to the street and find drugs. But if we do, then we could tell our parents, you know, I'm having a hard time, and find therapy. And, like, the better your relationship with your parents, the faster you're gonna get help. That's basically how it works.
They're not paid actors. It's the real deal, people.
My parents didn't come here, so I...
Any other questions?
100%.
100%.
It's like black and white, literally black and white.
1,000%.
No doubt about it. Really, no doubt about it. I'm not.
What is it? What do you see? What do you see when you're looking at your friends and these three friends, the parents are here, and these three friends, the parents are not? What does it look like on the kid?
The first thing is they're always excited to go home. It's weird, but when we sit by 12:25, and that's why I'm going to use an example. When we sit there, there's kids that like, all right, I'm going to go home, say, you know, catch my father before I go to sleep. I heard it so many times, and then there's people that stay till they close the lights. And that's one big difference that I found. And talking about their parents, someone that 90% of kids I found that their parents come here, they usually mention their father somewhere in a conversation within 10 minutes of speaking to them. Somewhere, oh yeah, I spoke to my father, my father got me that, and I spoke to him, and we had a conversation about this. Always, somehow their parents come into the picture. And people are not, the second you mention parents, they'll just disappear.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah,
It's like,
sure.
when I see a difference, because when I see teenagers that are more rebellious than other teenagers, I know that they don't have a good relationship with their parents because they're fighting, and they're fighting at home, so they're going to become more rebellious but if their parents are accepting them, then they're like, okay, I don't have to do everything, I don't have to go against them. So that's how I saw the difference between people that come here and people that don't come here.
Kids would open up to you and do something.
I mean, now that I live in Israel, not so much, but I spend a lot of time in 1225 with, you know, my personal struggle is drugs, and my personal, I have a really strong feel for kids with drugs, and I love working with them. In the past 3 years, we sent, with Oyster 1225, and these guys over there, we sent almost 10, 15 people first that I personally worked with to rehab, and it was something I get pleasure out of. So a lot of guys just talk about it. We talk about trauma. That say, not everybody, people are more quiet, but a lot of guys have no problem opening up. No, TV does work, especially for kids who start off. No, it's true for kids who start off starting to be rebellious, and all of a sudden their father's there with open arms to hug him, and he doesn't need 100%. Yeah, you can prevent it from going.
Yeah, once you step into a severe drug addiction, which happens, right, then you really need a lot more help. Yeah, when you have support, you have the energy to fight your battles. That's the idea. That's what we hope.
I think every kid has a house, but not everyone has a home. And 1225 became a home to so many of these kids. And this is why you can see parents that come here and parents that don't, is when people are just happy to leave the place and go to their house and call it home. And people like to stay there because they call that place home. But thank you.
Any chizik for these parents who are out there every day and their kids are in all different situations? It's not easy for them. It's not easy to be a kid. It's not easy to be a parent these days either.
And just say, like, if it's anything like what my parents go through, I have all the respect to you. I really do. I really do. And when we spoke then, I think I was about to get engaged or something. And I asked him, I told him, like, I'm getting engaged, I'm going to get married, I'm scared about kids. I really was. Like, I saw what my parents went through. I'm scared of doing that.
I gave him a free lifetime membership at TP. Should never need it, okay?
Thanks for the wedding gift.
Okay, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.